We're going to start the ceremony with saying a few chapters of Psalms. We'll start in Psalm 15. If you could say after me. מזמור דוד, אדוני ומי יגור באוהלך, משכון בהר קודשך. הולך תמים ופועל צדק, דובר אמס בלבבוי. לא ירוג עלה לשוינוי, לא יוסו לרעהו בו, וחרפו לא ינוסו על קרובוי. נבזה בעינו בנימוס, וזכירי אדוני יכבד, נשבע לא רע ולא יומיר. אז פה לא ינוסם בנשר, ושוי חתנו כי לא ילוקח, אוי זה אלה לא ימות לא ילום. מזמור לדוד, אדוני רואי לא ירצוך. בינו זה שירביצני, על מי מנוחוס ינעלני. נפשי ישובב ינחני במטרי צדק למען שמוי. גם כי אלר בגית צנובס, לא ייר אורו כי אטוי בודי, שבטחו משנתך אוהבו ינחמוני. ארוך לפוני שולחו נגד צוי רוי, בישבתו בשמן ראשי כויסי רבויו. טוב וחסד תרדפוני כל ימי חיי, ושבתי ביסדוי לא ילך יומים. מכתום לדוד שומרני, כי חוסי סיבוך. אומרת לאדוני, אלוהימתו, תויבו סיבה לא לכו. תקדוי שמעשר באורץ, אמור, ותראה כרחב סיבום. יבוא אז גוי סומך המהרו, בעל אוסיר נסחם מדום, ובעל אסתו את שמוי סומך צפוסי. אדוני מנוי שחל כי גוי וקוי סייעתו תמיר גוי רולי. הבולים נופלו לי בנעימי, מבנח על השוק עולי. הבורך את אדוני אשר יעוצוני, אף לי לא יסחוני כי לי יסוי. שביסי אדוני לנגדי תמיד, כי ממיני בא למועד. וכן סומך ליבי ויוגד כבודי, אבו סורי ישכון לו בטח. כי לא יסתזוי בנפשי לישוי, לא יסיתן חסיד וכל ירוי שוחס. תרייני אוי רחיים, סוי בס מוחוי צס פונכו, נעימו את במלכו נצח. אשס חיים ימצוא ורוחוי מפנימי מכרו. בוא תבוא לב בעלו ושונו לא יחסוך. כולת סוטוי ולא יבוא כל בימי חייהו. דורשו צמר ופישתי ותת בחפץ כפיו. אוי זוקוני אוי זויכר ממך אוכתו פילחמו. ותוקום באויב לילו ותיתם טרף לביסו וחוי לנחו אסתאו. זוממו סודה ותיקוחהו מפרי חפהו לא דכוחו קודם. חוקו באויב מוסנאו ותאמץ רויסאו. תואמו כי טוב סחו לא ירבו בלילה נאו יודעו שילחו בקישור וחפהו תומכו הולך. כפו קורסו לאוני ויודעו שילחו לו אביון, לא יסירו לביסו משונק, כי כל ביסו לבושונים, מרבד אימותו לו שש מרגום לבושו, לא ידו בשורים בנו בשבטו עם זקני אורס, סוד אימותו סובתים כהר, וחדור לא סולה כנעני, אויס ועודו לבוש שומעתי יצחק ביום האחרון. פיו פוסטו בחוכמו וסוירח חסד אנושוינוס, ופיו הניחויס ביסו ולחם עצלוס לא יצורכם. כמו ונאו וישכו בעלו וילנו, רבו יסבונו צוצחוי, ועטוליס על כולנו, שקר אחרים ובליו ואישו ינצב ובסלון, תנו לו מבחיותיו, יעלו בשורים אחרו. We have a chance now, before the burial, to say a few words in honor of the deceased. So we would like to ask the brothers and sisters to first say a few words.
We wanted to thank you all for coming. She really appreciated this community. Got it. I'm the youngest of his sisters. I'm Roberta. This is Patty. She was the little sister. This is Josh. He wasn't a sister. And she lived an adventurous life. She was very generous, and she was very adventurous. She really appreciated living in this community with her daughter and her grandchildren and family, and all of you. She thought it was family.
I'll echo what Roberta said. I was thinking back to one of the last times I saw Joanne was in June of 2020, and she was coming out here to leave Sacramento for the last time, and how much we wanted to come to this community and live with Abgal and Jason and the family, and how that really changed the arc of the last years of her life, from not being very happy in Sacramento, living with just a few friends, to having a whole community. For that, just so touched and so grateful.
I echo all of that, and she really said, she was the oldest, and she really set a path for us. She was very adventurous. When she was about 20 or 22, everyone else after college was going to Europe, and she decided to go to Japan, and lived in Japan for several years, teaching English and making a life there. And she just was a little bit outside the box, and she got a degree in genetics from Berkeley. She was very, very intelligent, and she did all kinds of different work. She worked in a juvenile facility when she got out of college, and then she became a respiratory therapist when she came back from Japan. And she really loved her grandkids. I would call her every week and hear Hadassah on the phone. They would, she was very close with them, and her daughter, Abigail, just took such good care of her. She just enjoyed so much, being around her daughter and grandchildren, and extended family. So I'm really grateful to all of you for taking such good care of her.
Ask Dina to come. See if he wants.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. I just wanted to take the time right now to represent all the grandchildren that loved Bubby so much. Bubby became my Bubby when I was about 12. And right away, I loved Bubby so much, just as my own Bubby, and I could tell that she loved me as her own granddaughter right away. We were so lucky to have Bubby live with us for the past bunch of years. Every day has been filled with her generosity, her kindness, her unconditional love, and her humor. She was so funny. Bubby was so funny. I know when me and Eliezer, my husband, and Effie and Leanne, we'd all come for Shabbos. Like right away, we'd walk in the doors, and it's like, it's Bubby! You know, it's like, Bubby's here! And she's like, yeah, okay. Give her a big hug, you know. And I was telling Tia, like, yesterday, best memories are when you offer Bubby l'chaim. It's like, Bubby, do you want l'chaim? She's like, do I not want l'chaim? Like, is that a question? It's like, and she's so sweet. She loved everybody so much. She had so much love for all of her grandchildren, for Effie, for Leia, for Bella, for me, Eliezer, for Joshua, for David, Adas Amalia, Yehuda, Leo, Bracha, and Rusty. We love you so much. So, so, so much. And you warm our heart so much. Bubby, you gave us towels for me and Eliezer. Present. I don't even want to use them. I just want to frame them. All 20 towels that we shipped to our house. I just want to frame them. I don't even know if I thanked you. I love you so much. And I really just wanted to take the time also to say to Tia, to Dad, that you have shown all of your children what true kibbutz avayim is, and to respect your parents by taking in your parents, loving them, caring for them, taking on wild adventures with Bubby. Tia, you took her on so many trips. You're like, I'm going hiking, Bubby's coming. Wheelchair? That's not a problem. Bubby's coming. Like we're going to Niagara Falls, Bubby's coming. We're climbing up Mount Everest, Bubby's coming. There's like no question, always Bubby's coming. And it just really, really taught us and still teaches us to have kibbutz avayim. And we love you very, very, very much. And Bubby, we know that you love us very, very, very much. And thank you. Bubby, your neshama shekhat aliyah. I love you.
You know, when you want to look and try to tie in the parsha, you try to tie in something to that, you don't have to look far. These three parshas, they talk about Avraham Avinu and all the amazing things that he did and he accomplished, and how he acted and how he held himself. So Bubby was very, very similar in a lot of ways. Avraham Avinu loved to take care of people. Mrs. Arkham was his jam. That was his big mitzvah. And Bubby all she wanted to do was help everybody. Whoever came to her, whatever they needed a place to stay when she was quote unquote not living in California, she had her house. It was open to anyone who needed a place to stay. Everything she did was always trying to help others. She never wanted to be a burden to anyone. She never wanted anyone to have to worry about her. If she kept things to herself, she dealt with things on her own. It was just, it's just, she just wanted to help everybody. She just didn't want anything for herself. Like when Avram was fighting the Bilchos Malachim, and it came to the end to divvy up the spoils, Avram Avinu wanted nothing. He gave it all away to everybody else. He doesn't need anything. Please, everyone else take it. He needs nothing. When the Kadosh Baruch Hu promised the world to Avram Avinu before he had Yitzchak, he went back to Kadosh Baruch Hu and he said, "What is all this worth? What is all this worth if I don't have children? If I don't have grandchildren? Give me children and grandchildren." That's all he cared about. Rabbi loved his word. It was all for Abigail. It was all for our kids. Everything that she did for me as well. She was very, very selfless. I'm going to steal some of Abigail's talk. When Abigail was younger, and Bubby worked literally 80-hour weeks. She worked the night shift and then she worked the day shift. Whenever she came home and she saw Abigail, it wasn't, "I'm tired, I got to sleep for a little bit." It was, "Hey, what do you need? Come, let's go out, let's do it. What do you need? I am here for you." She could have been extremely exhausted on no sleep for 24 hours. It didn't matter. Abigail came first. And the same thing with the grandkids. With Asanali, with Yehuda, with Effie, with Dina, Yeshua, Yehuda, and Bracha. I didn't forget anybody. She just loved everyone. She loved spending as much time with everyone, and was Baruch Hashem able to be with all of us. Until she wasn't. Baruch Hashem, we gave her the love we could. We did everything we could for her, and she did even more for us. There's nothing she wouldn't do for us. We love you, Bubby. We have the family, and we have the healing. But we didn't keep the cover that we should have. If we didn't do for you more than we could have, we love you. Wish you a very safe trip to Olam Ha'elam.
From the seniors program.
I just want to say that Joanne was, I can't imagine Sequoia without Joanne. She was so much, she came all the time. She participated. She was very intelligent. She had a lot of opinions. And when something wasn't going right with somebody, she had what to say about it. And she spoke up for people. And I don't think the rest of the staff or the members of Sequoia, I think she's just going to be missing. Like where she's sitting, it'll be like empty. Joanne won't be there. And we really appreciated having Joanne as part of our program, and we're going to miss her a lot, just as everybody else will.
Foremost, thanks for coming. I know Bubby very much appreciates having her family come from California, from all parts of New York, parts of Jersey, prison here, search and rescue animal. I appreciate the support. So there are three things that I want to say about my mom. It is very easy when you're in the moment. When you think about the last 6 months, the last year, and what details you create. When you look at it over the 45 years I've known her, She was an amazing human being. Last Chavez, where she was, sick, but okay. Just walking with the kids and telling them stories about the crazy birthday parties she would make for me for no particular reason. So she would get me these like science kicks. Like before there was Bill Nye, there was my mom. And she figured out where to get dry ice. So I had this like, I turned 10, it was called Dry Ice Birthday Party theme, and everybody pretends to make potions. It was super cool. Nobody else's parents were doing this. There's no Pinterest. I don't know how she was able to find this. I don't know where it came from. But there was her bubble mania that she took to a certain level. We got into making dough crafts, all sorts of arts and crafts projects. And then, of course, being from California, we made our own pinata, which with the good jobs makes unbreakable. It was a lot of fun. But in talking, my uncle came out yesterday to meet with her. And in talking a little bit, my mother was very much a person who was a master of her own destiny. So she was a surprise child. My grandmother was told she was infertile. Illness that didn't work out very well. So the timing of my mother was a little inconvenient. And I think that message was passed on fairly consistently to her. But from that, her ability to be the mother that she was to me, which I cannot begin to describe her level of dedication. I complained as a teenager. I wish she would have focused a little bit more on herself. For your own education, her own outgoingness. But she was always there, 110%. Whenever I turned around, she was there, worried about me, what I needed physically, what I needed emotionally. She was always there. But she also did take those adventures. She did go live in Japan and travel the world. She did all those things. That wasn't because that's what her friends were doing, or she saw it. Again, the Pinterest wasn't happening. It just occurred to her, and she did it. She owned her own life. Her ability to turn around from how she grew up to how she raised me it's something that we should all emulate, to be able to choose who we are and the legacy that we leave behind, not based on how we were raised or what we came up with. But my mother would never have said that about herself. And she's right. We knew she was a little bit, little medical issues here and there. Is now the right time to go to the hospital? Should we go to the urgent care for this? No, she's fine. She dragged herself to her seniors program because she loved that program. She loved that program. They told her they were calling the ambulance, and she said, no, it's fine. It'll be fine. She would never ask anybody to give her attention. She would never ask for her own cover. She would, whatever, if she was invited, she's happy to be there. If you put her in the corner, if you put her in the front, she doesn't care. She's just happy to come. And that's what made it possible for us to drag her along everywhere. She was just happy to be part of something. She was never asking for any of her own glory. And I think that the lesson that I really took away from her is that life is a wonderful adventure. We're meant to live it on purpose, not by rote or by accident. Reading her child. I can say objectively that we've had like 15 hospitalizations in the last 15 years. Some were more pedantic and some were fights. And, December, she's officially going to turn 80. My uncle did officially give her his blessing that he can call her 80 from now on. None of us live forever. Was I or my mother in any way interested or available or prepared to give this up? We were not. I did a video biography of my grandfather at one point, and it was wonderful. And it was always planned to do with my mom. But because it felt like the thing to do at the end, we never wanted to do it because we're not there. There's always another adventure to be had. There's always another wonderful thing to explore, new facets of life to find and discover. I just hope we do a good job for her with continuing to live the life. Considering how she grew up versus what we came to. There are 7 kids who loved her and know that she loved them. know that she will. We have my daughter-in-law Leah, my son-in-law Eliezer. They're new people around me. They love. They know that she loved them. She had a heart. It could take everybody. The irony is that's what it did. Her heart was big enough for everybody. There was room in there for everybody. That's the lesson I get out of this, is to always make more room for everybody in my heart. I appreciate you being part of it.
You only got a chance to meet Bobby at the last part of her life. And it was always a pleasure to have her as a guest at the table. She reminded us of the Mishnah in Pirkei Avos. Mishnah says there's a chochem aloyim b'kolodom. Who's the wise person? The one that wants to learn from everyone. Rabbi Yonah explains and he says, the person that constantly wants to learn, and doesn't matter from whom, just wants to amass more information. That was Bobby. Bobby was always interested to hear, interested to learn. We just read from Avraham Avinu, according to the Rambam, according to Maimonides, at the age of 40, Avraham Avinu changed his entire life. His life changed at the age of 40. As Abigail said, the way she ended her life was very different in a big part of her life. But she had flexibility to move, flexibility to change from a life of Sacramento, living on the farm, living in Passaic, New Jersey. But the flexibility to be able to adapt to a new lifestyle, to a life with more meaning, and to a life to live with the kids and the grandchildren. It's fascinating to see that Avraham Avinu discovered the presence of God in the world and left everything behind to go to the land of Canaan, to Eretz Yisrael, to find that the secret relationship was HaKadosh Baruch Hu, was Hashem. And at the same time, we know that Avraham Avinu was tested. So in Nisyonis, 10 times Avraham Avinu was tested. But why? Avraham Avinu was so committed, he was willing to give up his entire past. But why was he tested? And the reality is that the way one displays his real commitment is how he deals in time of stress and in time of difficulty. And Avraham Avinu was able to display that he was the real believer, no matter what happened, and no matter how difficult it was, he was committed to his path. And Bobby was the same way. There were difficulties. It wasn't always easy, but she was committed. She was committed to the change of her life, and committed to learn and to be part of the family. The Torah tells us that the reward for taking care of your parents, for respecting your parents, is longevity, is a long life. Tiskuni explains and he says that sometimes kids, when they have to deal with older parents, you might have a thought in your head like, maybe this should just end. But it tells you should know that when parents go away, one takes away from his own life. Abigail, I think as Dina said, you have displayed tremendous kibbutz. You have displayed what it means to be a daughter. Everything in life, whatever it is in life, I need to take care of my mother. And it's true. Bobby was, most of the time, an easy mother to take care of. But you displayed a tremendous, tremendous commitment. And as Dina said, it's something for us all to learn of how to behave with a mother. Bobby, as now you're going up to the Kisei HaKavod, and you'll be able to appreciate the fruits of the seed that you planted. We ask that you should be a Meilitz Yoshel. You should be there and pray for the well-being of your family, well-being of your extended family, the well-being of the Jewish people as a whole. We need God's help more than ever. Just finish with the words of the Navi. Should be a bila amoves l'netzach. Umocha Hashem dimo me'al kol ponim v'nei malomin. Kosh should remove the tears from all faces. V'nei malomin.
No. That's more.
כן מולי רחמים שוכן במרומים אמצעי מנוחו נכונו על כתבי השכינו ומלואיז קדושים וטוירים כזויה לרקיו מזהירים אז נשמס אסתר ישם וחזקאל בן שוכלוי לומו ועבור שלא יביאו צדוקו בלס קורס נשמוסו וגן עדן כן מנוחוסו לכן בא לו רחמים יסירהו בססר כנופו לא ילומים ויצחוי בצחוי רחיים אס נשמוסו עד לא יונח נוסו ותונוח על משכבו בשלום ונאמר אמן. The burial will be in King Solomon, and Abigail will sit shiva at home with her mother's siblings at 364 Brook Avenue. Here, Friday from 9 to 12 to 12.